Today I am going to explain you what are the different types of gourds and how I grow them and when I grow them. List of gourds I grow from India: bottle gourd, ridge gourd, snake gourd, EV gourd, sponge gourd and bitter gourd. And also I do some of the varieties of the same from Vietnam and also specific gourd called pointed gourd from Bangladesh. Bottle gourds, they come in two different shapes. One is the round shape and another is long shape when fruit matures. They need very hot temperature, I would say around 15 degrees minimum, and maximum it can be any temperature. I sow them end of April or first week of May, so that June first week or June second week I can put them either in the ground or in the compost. Bottle gourds, I basically sow Indian and Vietnamese variety, and I always sow them outside. You don't need a greenhouse or any polytunnel to grow bottle gourds, and they grow really well and you get plenty of fruit. I would say per plant you get around 20 to 25 fruit every year. This is the Italian variety of bottle gourd. I basically planted in 25-liter pot. This is the Vietnamese variety of bottle gourd. I planted it in 40-liter pot, big pot, and this is the trellis. It just goes across all the way. This is the area where I grow my bottle gourds, and you see that one is Indian bottle gourd long variety and the other one is Indian bottle gourd round variety. I will put 4 more plants in this. This is 3.5 feet by 3.5 feet compost bin inside area, and these plants, they go and crawl across. These are the bottle gourd plants from India. I mean the seeds from India, and these are long and round varieties. Ridge gourd, it's a different structure. They call lofa fruit in some areas of the world, and it's very tasty when it cooked with lentils. This is the ridge gourd. Here you can see it started crawling. Another pot, which is 35-liter pot, ridge gourd plants, 2 plants I just planted today. Sponge gourd is similar structure to cucumber. Outside skin is bit hard when you touch it, but when you cook it, after cutting, it looks, when you cut, it looks like a white colored, spongy colored. Even you touch, it's very soft and smooth. That's why they call sponge gourd. It can be grown indoor or outdoor. This is the sponge gourd. It's already 2.5 feet height. I use the jute string to support to go all the way up. This is a Vietnamese sponge gourd plant. My friend gave it to me. This is the Indian variety of sponge gourd plant I just planted today, and this is 15-liter pot. Snake gourd, it's a very long fruit. Last year I was successful in growing 2 plants. One of the fruits, it grew almost 8 feet. That was a huge success for me. That's why I'm trying this year as well. It's very hard to germinate. They need at least 18 to 20 degrees to germinate, and it will take a long time to germinate as well. Looking after is easy, and it must be grown indoors, not outdoors. This is the snake gourd plant. I got it from my friend. This is another snake gourd. This is the only plant I managed to germinate, even though I put 12 seeds. Bitter gourd or Karela, one of my favorite Indian vegetable, and you can try outside, but you won't get much success outside. However, you can try indoors and you get reasonable harvest for bitter gourd. And I also leave very first successful fruit for the seed harvest. So I don't need to buy the seeds, so that I can use the same seed, and germination is almost 100% guarantee. Another type of gourd worth mentioning is called ash gourd, Budida Gummadakaya. This is pumpkin actually, but they call it ash gourd because they cook with that pumpkin variety. Last year I had a small tiny fruit, and the weather basically dropped back to very cold state. That's the reason why that fruit didn't mature into the big size of the fruit. This year again I got a small plant. I don't know whether it's going to be mature or not, but I'm trying. Gourds initially they need a lot of nitrogen. That means rotten horse manure or chicken pellets, they got a lot of nitrogen, and they actually grow like a vine, very long, around 15 meters or 20 meters or something like that. During the fruit stage, when the small fruit comes, you can either hand pollinate or bees are available around, they will do the pollination for you. If you do hand pollination, you will get fruit very early, and you can really enjoy the cooking with it. And potassium content needs to be more when the plant produces a lot of fruit, and you have male and female flowers obviously, and there is no self-pollinated plants for the gourds, especially I'm talking about the Indian gourds. I grow my gourds in big pots, I would say 30-liter pots or 25-liter minimum, or compost bin I prepare specially for the gourds. And the roots will go around 10 inches to 12 inches maximum depth. So the pot must be minimum of like a 1.5 feet height minimum, so that it has got plenty of place to spread the roots and give you the better healthy growth of the plant. Diseases, when it comes to diseases or pests, what are the different things that can happen to gourd plants? One, when the plant is very young stage, especially for the ridge gourd and bitter gourd, which is Karela, you can have green aphids. So keep an eye, otherwise green aphids can affect the growth of the plant. The next one is powder mildew, which is the spots, like a white spots on the big leaves. You need to either spray the water mixed with a bit of milk, maybe 3-4 spoons of milk from any superstore, or use the baking soda, mix it in the water and spray. So that will take care of the powdery mildew. You need to have a proper support for these gourds to grow, either trellis or supported canes or any sort of support, because they grow really long, as I mentioned, 15 to 20 meters long, and you need to support them very well. Otherwise, they're going to crawl across everywhere, and fruit might not be healthy, and when it touches the ground, slugs can get to them easily. So you need to look after the plants. You can supply balanced fertilizer to the gourd plants, I would say every 2 weeks you can use any organic fertilizers, liquid fertilizers, dilute them and supply them. I don't generally supply any fertilizers to my gourd plants because I prepare the soil in such a way that soil can give what are the nutrients required by those plants.